I know. I'm excited because my sole memory of your first ever appearance on this podcast as a guest was absolutely annihilating that year's golf game.
Yeah, so EA just absolutely shit themselves inside out, fell off a cliff. It was kind of around the time they dropped Tiger Woods, and then they brought out EA Sports, Rory McIlroy, PGA Tour, whatever the fuck it was called. Did they drop
Tiger Woods because of his, shall we say, problematic years?
Yeah, they dropped... It's funny, like, now to think about Tiger Woods having an argument with his wife because he slept with a bunch of other women and her, like...
don't forget driving into a tree.
Yeah, well, that was it. It's like her hitting his car and him driving into a tree, and that being a thing that's problematic now. Like, given some of the horrible problematic things we've heard about public figures in the last 10 years or so since that kind of seems like you get over that in a week now, kind of thing. But yeah, EA just fell off massively. And you know, the space has kind of been filled in terms of golf games with the golf club for a while, and then the mechanics and bits and pieces from that taken and improved really, and molded into the 2K series. So the last one was 2K21, so they took a bit of a break, and this now we have PGA 2K23, which is a pretty good golf game. I'm not going to lie. It's a good game. It feels good to play. It kind of scratches that itch of exactly what I wanted. You know, it's very immediately pick up and playable, whether you just want to play a course or whether you want to do, like, you know, develop your you can build your own character, develop your character out and go into the tour mode and everything, and go through a PGA Tour season. The actual feel and gameplay of the golf is great. You can select between swing styles, so you can go with the sort of, you know, established towards the end of the EA Sports golf games, where you have the swing where you pull back on the analog stick and then push forward to swing your golf club, or you can do like the traditional style, you know, Mario Golf, I'll say, but probably existing long before that, 3-click swing where you click and then you click and then you click. So I tried the 3-click swing, and I've got to say it felt abysmal. So I didn't want to do the 3-click swing. I just did the traditional swing, and it felt good. Like, it felt really nice to play. The courses look really nice. I don't think in terms of like graphical fidelity it's getting anywhere near out of the PlayStation 5 what it could do. Like, this doesn't look a million miles away from PGA Tour 2K21 that came out a couple of years ago, which came out for the PS4. Like, there's not a huge difference and a huge step up in terms of graphics.
I mean, this thing probably got ported to fucking everything, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So it and actually just going out onto a course and playing a round of golf is exactly what you want it to be. Like, it's a good, it feels good to play. Like, the ball bouncing and everything feels like kind of, you know, physics wise it feels good, and it kind of makes a lot of sense. And so from that perspective, I really like it. There's 20 courses. All of them are like standard US PGA Tour courses. I mean, like, the highlights are the big ones that you've won in there. TPC Sawgrass, which is, you know, famous for that island green 17th. And you've got like Riviera and Bay Hill. Now, what it's missing is Augusta National.
Yeah, but Augusta's like the new camp, you know, like you're paying the extra dollar for that sort of thing.
Yep. It's missing any of the open courses, so you don't get St. Andrews or, you know, Royal St. George's or Hoylake or anything like that. And it's missing, you know, the courses that were the PGA Championship and US Open courses for this year.
Bit of an issue when your game's called PGA 2K23, right?
It is, but the PGA Tour and the majors are kind of separate things, right?
Does anyone like? Are there any other kind of major golf games out there at the moment? Because I'm wondering, like, does anyone actually own?
You actually, yeah, you're kind of jumping on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, no. So the point I was about to make was you're missing all of those courses, and about a week or two before this came out, EA perked up. EA have decided to get back into the golf game market, and EA's trailer, graphically looked on another level to this game, and B, they were straight off the bat with, we have Augusta National.
Ah, those fuckers.
Right. So it kind of felt, incredibly purposely timed by EA to sort of take a little bit of the spotlight and a little bit of the shine off the release of this game. Almost saying, well, you could play these 20 run-of-the-mill PGA Tour courses, or you could wait until our game comes out in spring 23, and then you can play Augusta National, and you can play, St Andrews, and you can go and play these courses. But so it did feel a little bit like EA were trying to get a bit of one-upmanship. But you know what? If you're not that bothered about that sort of thing, if you just want a golf game, if you just want to relax, wind down, and play like a really good golf simulator, this is about as bloody good as you're going to get in terms of this current generation. And I think the one thing that I would fear with the EA games coming out is how much absolute nonsense they put into the last Rory McIlroy PGA Tour thing, and how many like microtransaction-y things there were in there. How there was a mode in there that was just like a sort of mobile game where you got like between 1 and 3 star rating for things, and then you had to keep grinding it to unlock points and so on.
Something about the EA games, like I haven't talked that much about FIFA 23, which I've obviously been playing since it came out because it's me, for God's sake.
Sure, yeah.
But something that has distressed me over the last couple of years is what I can only describe as like the Maddenification of every EA game. They're all starting to... They all kind of felt like different games in terms of like the UI and stuff like that years ago, but now like the most pernicious / generic things from each of the sports games are starting to bleed across into the other ones. So like,
which is interesting because
FIFA's Ultimate Team went to Madden and is in NHL as well, and the menus now in FIFA are very Madden. And
but they're actually different studios though, surely, because like the FIFA ones are done by the Vancouver studio. I'm pretty sure.
I imagine it's an internal style guide.
It just things cross.
And they all share that Frostbite engine as well.
That is true. That is a good point as well. Yeah.
I imagine when the engine is designed to fit a specific kind of UI, that everybody... Look, in some respects, I can't fucking blame them, because it's like, hey, it's just going to save you a lot of time if you just take the framework that we already have that works on this thing for your thing.
Look, when you've got a fucking 9-month turnaround for these things,
but just when you said that, Jack, about like stuff that's been creeping into the EA games over the years, I just got intensely triggered by...
I hear it. That'd be my main nervousness about that EA game. I probably will pick it up though and play it just to see what it is, because I love the Masters outside of my love of football and all footballing events. My second favourite sporting occasion is the Masters, and it even edges out the Super Bowl. There's just something about that course, the feel of how that week is. It's just different, completely different. So the ability to play around it in those good PGA Tour games towards like before we got stupid. I remember the first Masters edition of PGA Tour where you got to play at Augusta National for the first time, and I played the hell out of that thing, like platinum trophied that thing, which on a EA golf game is extremely hard to do. Dave will probably attest, because I know he got a platinum on a FIFA once.
I think it was like 0.2% of people have the platinum in those kind of games. That was what it was when I got it in FIFA as well. Yeah.
So it's the same deal with that. So I played the hell out of that thing. So if it is as good of a golf simulator as the 2K golf simulators, then I'll jump on board and definitely.
Do you know what EA really needs to do with that next golf game is, and I feel like this has been missing now from these golf games, it needs an Alex Hunter style story mode for golf.
Yeah, well that's what I was going to say. I think like the PGA 2K, they try and put like a a little bit of like, you know, you have your rival in a tournament or whatever, and you see yourself and your rival kind of walking down the fairway together, and that's pretty cool. But there's not really much more to it than that. There's a couple of like awkward cutscenes that they do, which feel a bit like the sort of thing SSX did 20 years ago, which 20 years ago was pretty cool to have those little cutscenes, but now it's like, well, we could do so much more.
Yeah.
So if EA corner that market on a golf game, I think it would also be really cool. There's lots of like well-known golfers in this as well from across the tours, like Live Tour, PGA Tour. They're all in the game. They're all licensed. For some reason, Michael Jordan and Steph Curry are also licensed and in this game. So you could play as Michael Jordan wearing like basketball shorts and his like signature Jordan 1s, or Steph
Is
Curry.
Spider-Man in it? Like, how crazy are we going?
No. There's no Spider-Man in it, and you get like a good blend of the best golfers in the world who've signed up from like male and female, and they're all kind of blended together in the game as well, which I think is a great positive step in the right direction as well in terms of inclusivity in the game. So I would merit it for that. But really, like, at the moment, it doesn't feel like enough of a full upgrade. Like, if you've got 2K21, it doesn't feel like enough of a full upgrade for you to want to pay full price for it at the moment, which is like 55-60 quid over in the UK. If you wanted to get this game brand new, it feels like the sort of game that even by Christmas you'll probably be able to pick up for like 30-40 quid at most. But yeah, if you do, you'll get like a really solid, really enjoyable 7-8 on its in its best moments out of 10 golf game. And yeah, I just find them incredibly relaxing to play, and I got pretty much exactly what I wanted from it. But there is that looming presence of the new EA golf game on the horizon, and that is a bit of a threat to what has been, like I say, all the way through the golf club and now up to these 2K games, a little bit of like a cornered market by 2K / the golf club. So yeah, the monster is back and is hunting, and we'll see if it's any good when it does come out. But 2K23, if you did pay full price for it, if you've got somebody in your life that's bought it for you or whatever, I don't think you'll be disappointed by it. But it also isn't going to be pulling up any trees in terms of originality.
Is EA still branding their games as like Rory McIlroy's golf?
Rory's featured heavily in the trailer, but I think it's just going to be EA Golf,
right?
Basically,
yeah,
is what I
think that's going to be the way they start moving now, because obviously EA Sports FC is what we're going to have next year instead of FIFA, with that coming to an end.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wonder, like, I guess it's just cheaper to do it that way. Like, they're at the point where they're so
you don't
synonymous.
have to pay anybody for a license.
Precisely.
They're so synonymous at this point. So we don't actually need to put anyone's fucking face on it. Like, the game's going to sell, you know? We don't need Sol Campbell. We're all right.
What is there, Jack?
We don't need Sol Campbell.
Is there, do you know by any chance, Jack, what the situation is with the licensing of the John Madden name? Because obviously, like, they pay the John Madden's estate a heap of money, but is that like, are they still locked into a long-term deal? Did he sign it over in perpetuity? Do you know anything about that?
I think it was due to expire like this year, but then I think they extended it, and I think it's currently extended through 2026. So until 2026 we will be having EA football games be Madden. But I don't know any of the details about that contract. Like, how much money
you should.
Yeah, I don't have that inside scoop.
But are there any actually like other major companies making football games? Because I know there's like the college football games. So even on the EA as well, or am I like?
Well, the college, the thing you just mentioned with the college football games, like that went away for a long, long time.
Right.
Like, the last NCAA game was like maybe even a decade ago.
Because I remember seeing those on the PlayStation 2. Maybe that's that's how far we're going back.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that was mainly because they were, featuring teams and logos and players and all sorts of stuff. And you know how American college athletics works, in that the people that are, out there playing get absolutely no financial recompense.
Yeah.
So, in terms of image rights and stuff like that, they weren't really getting a fair shake. And instead of, just maybe fronting up the NCAA and just maybe paying or giving some money to the players for their injury rights. They were just like, no, let's just not have these games anymore. It's kind of how that went, which is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the games used to be pretty good, actually. They were a lot more fun. They felt a lot more arcadey than the Madden games. But yeah, I think they are making a comeback soon. I think they did figure out that situation. But yeah, there's no one else, I don't think, that makes any any major competitor to Madden anyway.
No.